I could probably go for Explaining Trixie, and I'm going to do it based on the fan adaptation, which is the fact that we don't know her background, where she comes from. And you see this mare that's traveling by herself in a caravan, so she doesn't have it well off for herself. They're wondering out why what led her to be this sort of person, and that's I think it was the fan spin on it.
Yeah.
That made people like her more. The whole, who is this pony that came out of nowhere and is just lonely?
Who has an obsession with Twilight, and then will go away and get a plush of Twilight and cuddle her at night while she cries herself to sleep about her abusive parents.
Yes.
And another thing about Luna's popularity. Oh, sorry, we're not done. I'm sorry.
Oh, if you've got something to add, if it's quick, you can add it.
All right, yeah. One thing, this one actually has to do with Celestia's character more than Luna, because most people compare Luna's popularity to Celestia's. That's not entirely a good comparison to make, because Celestia is the mentor of Twilight, and she does come off as the wise teacher, despite what fans usually make her out to be. But if you look around, mentor-type characters are never really all that popular because they generally don't do that much on screen, and Celestia is no exception to that. While Luna doesn't do anything on screen, she's expected to do a lot behind it because she's not a mentor, and so Celestia is already very, very wise. She doesn't have any more adventures to go through because, well, she knows most of them. Luna is well, while she has all the same power, she doesn't know how to control it. And she's kind of like a hero starting off her own story.
You sort of get the feeling that Celestia is like the hand of the author, and she's a narrative device, in a way, giving Twilight lessons and instructions, while not actually being an interesting character in herself.
I wouldn't say Celestia's not an interesting character, but we don't see any development for either of the princesses.
Yeah.
The episode was made for fan demand, but it didn't really develop too much. It was predictable what she did develop, though, which was a little bit disappointing. Like, we knew she was going to be lonely and, didn't know how to adjust to the times, future shock stuff.
Yeah.
But
Progress.
other than that,
Luna versus Microwave.
yeah, but like other than that, we don't really have much development on either of the princesses. So I don't really think you can say it's Celestia's character that gives her a disadvantage over Luna in that aspect.
Yeah.
But their character archetypes.
You never know what's going to happen in season 3. That's always.
Yeah. The problem with the princesses, especially Luna, is that to develop them, you'd have to give a lot of specific situations. And again, especially Luna, who doesn't have any festivals that she normally attends, it would feel very shoehorny to just throw her in there.
Yeah, and also, I think sort of them being an alicorn, Mary Sue is the wrong word, but you get the feeling that it's difficult to imagine conflicts they could really get into without it becoming huge and epic, like the season 2 finale, where they can't just say, well, I'm an alicorn, so I'm going to sort this out by, lighting up my magic horn and sorting it out.
Exactly. Also, the princesses, so they'd have a tail following them of soldiers and politicians. That I would kind of get in.
Politics. Oh no.
Okay, going back to the original question was, who is your favourite pony? And I said that there was one related to that.
Okay. We haven't established who your favourite pony is, by the way.
I'll go for Twilight.
That's a good call. You're allowed that.
Only because I connect with her the most. As a intellectual, I can just sort of see things from her perspective. I'm not this sort of, she's the first one, jumping by one. I just am able to connect with her
She's
most.
really not the central character anymore, is she? I mean, even by the end of the first series, she stops being
the most important.
She stops being the narrator, and by if anyone was watching the second series without having watched the first, they probably wouldn't realise that originally it was about Twilight and her adventures. It's supposed to be about all 6, which I like that. I like that there isn't one central pony anymore. I think that's good.
I'd say that Twilight still has at least a minor and somewhat of a central plot.
I think you're right. Yeah, she's got more than nothing, particularly when you get into the important stuff like the Discord episodes and the royal wedding. She's definitely in a more of a central role there. You're right.
Exactly, and if you look at it, most of the episodes we've been seeing so far are character stories, developing individual characters. It's not really. It's usually not plots involving things outside of that character's world that they would have to get involved in.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like stuff that they already do, but do off screen for the most part.
Yeah. And well, the question that I was going to relate the next one is: you say that Rainbow Dash is your favorite character, but who do you connect with most? Can you relate yourself to most?
It's a funny question because I would have to think about it to answer you. And as you can see, I'm clearly bluffing for time here while I do think about it to answer you. But to be honest, the probably the most honest answer would be none of them. Which isn't because I don't see my own qualities in any of them. I mean, you know, I could think of myself as an intellectual because I write an essay subject for university. And I write stories too, so I could think of myself as being like Twilight. But then, out of all of them, Rainbow is the most boyish, so I could think of myself as empathising with Rainbow. But then, again, out of all of them, probably the way I speak, and perhaps if I were to be a girl, I might be most like Rarity. But then again, Applejack is very down-to-earth and sensible. I like to think of myself as fairly sensible, and also, like Rainbow Dash, she's a little bit more boyish, so I could empathise with her. Pinky I don't really empathise with because I don't bounce around squeaking about parties, and Fluttershy I really definitely don't empathise with. But I'd say sort of them, the three that I could see myself most fitting with are Twilight, Rainbow and Applejack, and possibly Rarity, but that's only really because of the way she speaks, which is a pretty thin thing to call. So I'd say a mixture of those three.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And I genuinely thought that Rainbow was a boy for like the first 3 or 4 episodes of season 1, which is awkward when she starts wearing a dress and they're really introducing some postmodern no, she's just a girl. I thought they were being all modern and stuff. No.
Yeah, people go way too far with some of these interpretations. Like,
Rainbow Dash is clearly a boy, guys. She's transsexual.
No.
Hasbro is trying to show us the modern way. God!
I still like the whole article that was written by some angry feminists saying that Rainbow Dash, clearly with the rainbow mane, represents a tomboy lesbian and is being stereotypical here. Then Lauren goes, wait a second. You just said that because she has a rainbow mane, now she must be lesbian. You yourself were judging. She's clearly...
Who's the stereotyper here?
Yes. Touche.
Yeah, she's, you know, Rainbow Dash, she's sort of, like, the colour of her mane, she just sets her aside from the other ponies. She's just cool like that.
well, I think we're about done.
Yeah, it's been about an hour already.
Just about.
Oh, guys, it's been such a pleasure.
Yeah, well, it's been... Oh, one other thing that I must do.
One more thing, let's go.
Alright.
Because Tamar is sitting really close to me...
Alright, I can shuffle away if you want, to be honest,
Don't rattle the mic.
I was sort of, I was doing it to show me shuffling, it was for effect, you know.
Fair enough.
Oh no.
One of the questions that I should ask is, how did we come to meet? Because that's quite ironical.
Yeah. This is a fairly funny story. So my name is Tamar, which is the name of a river in Devon, in the UK. And I was on a chat stream in EFR because Michelle Krieber was coming on doing her Saturday Night Songs. Go and check out EFR, Michelle Krieber, Saturday Night Songs, which is awesome. And if they will pay me for doing that bit of advertising for them, I will be very grateful. Get in touch and I'll give them contact details. And somebody asked me where Tamar came from.
Was it Israeli?
Was it Israeli? Israelian?
Oh,
was it Israeli, perhaps?
And really ultimate
I made new word.
Making new words for the win. And I said, well, it's the name of a river near my university, and some bloke called Dev Knight just comes out of nowhere and says, is that the University of Exeter by any chance? And there's this big long pause, so I said yes. Long story short, 2 days later we were in the pub with a couple of other bronies having several pints of beer and having an extremely good time, and here we are now. So all hail EFR chat stream and beer.
And random chances.
Yes.
It was kind of random, it's like...
It was incredibly random.
Oh, what a night tonight.
Yeah. So that's why you should just join random places on the internet, like 4chan. I mean, don't go to 4chan. We don't speak of 4chan.
We do not speak.
Well, to be totally honest, that is where this entire brownie thing started.
And I do have a normal MLP board now, specifically.
Yeah.
I don't go on it.
Yeah. The
Scared.
cynicism of 4chan blends terribly with the innocence of Pony. Like, I'm a grown up and I'm not naive, but even so, it doesn't work for me. I'm not a fan.
Well, again, it is where we started, so I'll show respect to them. I don't know if I'll necessarily join them, though.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we should probably wrap it up now. Oh,
alright, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to meet you, Tamar.
Well, thanks very much. It's been a pleasure to be here and actually go back through my story. That's quite good fun.
Alright.
Pi, do you have any closing words to say?
Well, me or him? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Do you have any closing words to say, Pio? Pio?
While Pio thinks, I'll take this opportunity.
Barbara, I hope y'all enjoyed, and every Wednesday 5:30 at 5:30 EST.
Well, not necessarily 5:30. It depends on our time zones, and we'll try to get it around 5:30.
Don't you love the organisation on this, fellow bronies? I think this is brilliant. This is the way things ought to be done.
Yeah,
Don't worry, we'll be getting systems done, and I'll work on the organization a little bit more.
The next guest that we will be having on the Pony Public Library will be a chap called Chaotic Harmony. So
cool.
Go take out his take a look at his stuff, and I hope to see you next week. We haven't finalised the time because he's got some weird time issues, but we will let people know in advance.
I think I know Chaotic Harmony. What did he write?
Well, he's written some sad fics. Quite a few ones.
Fine.
But anyway, that will be for next week.
Yeah,
Pyro, it's do you want to close tonight, or shall I?
Alright, good night everybody, I guess.
Yeah. Good night everybody,
Good
and
night,
thanks
guys.
for listening to Pony Public Library. Goodbye.